Are you feeling that entrepreneur burnout? The life of a small business owner is tough. You're the CEO, the marketing manager, the sales manager, and of course the coffee maker all at once. In the age of social media, you feel this constant pressure to create. It's an endless cycle and it's exhausting. With my Creating Reorganized system, I don't have to spend a lot of time on my mobile anymore when my kids are around or during their school breaks because I can plan and work around that. What I get needs 24/7, 365.
Creating, reorganized, creating, reorganized, creating, reorganized, creating, reorganized. If you are a new or an aspiring founder of your small business and have no time to waste or really struggle to do your social media marketing, you will enjoy our Creating Reorganized show. In my day job as a psychology professor, I teach my bachelor and master students in real life how to reorganize processes in a goal-directed and future-proof way in companies. And that's what I had done for a living as a former IT strategy consultant. For my own career coaching business on the side, I can only dedicate a fraction of my time because, I prioritize care work for my little children. I face the same or similar challenges like all small business owners. So I applied all my experience and knowledge to create my other video podcast, Postdoc Transformation Show, to streamline my social media marketing and to boost sales of my coaching, e-courses, and affiliate products or services. I strategically capitalize on professional tools to scale my impact according to my vision of life. Listen and subscribe to this Creating Reorganized show so you will learn to do the same for your own business, to build the know, like, and trust factor, and to boost sales of your services or products. Please also ask your business-specific questions because for the next seasons, I envision interview episodes with aspiring and new founders like you if you want to get your Creating Reorganized according to your vision of life. As in every episode, at the end, I will wrap everything up from a psychological method, theory, or concept point of view. So stay tuned until the end of this episode, especially if you are my bachelor and master student in real life. I would love for you to take notes and maybe even already recognize my arguments. I'm your host, Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, and now welcome to our show, Creating Reorganized.
Dear Creating Reorganizer, welcome back to another episode of the Creating Reorganized show. This is the show where we talk about how you can market your business using the power of a video podcast. With my two shows, the Creating Reorganized show and the Postdoc Transformation show, I am cutting through the noise, making a name for myself, personal branding, and I'm building my business according to my vision of life. If you want this for yourself without burnout, this episode is gold. Let me ask you, are you feeling that entrepreneur burnout? Well, let me share, you're not alone. I've been there myself. And our episode 4 about burnout, and specifically pod fade for all the podcasters among you, was an all-time favorite listening. So my team and I thought, well, this is worth a sequel episode. And some of you listeners actually do know me from my holidays or dinners in my hometown, and you experience me probably quite relaxed. Well, I learned from my mistakes, and in this episode, I want you to benefit from my learning curve. So today, we're going to be talking about how to get off that hamster wheel and onto a path that leads you directly to consistent sales and more freedom. We're diving into strategic podcasting for business, and I promise you by the end of this episode, you will have a clear plan to stop the hustle and start the thriving. All of that would not be possible without my secret weapon, which is my set and forget tech stack. I chose partners like Podbean, Descript, Thinkific, ActiveCampaign, TypeForm, and Metrical, and these are the very tools that I also use that allow me to run my two podcasts, right? Creating Reorganized show and the Postdoc Transformation show, while still being a professor in part-time, and most importantly, a dedicated mom. The Creating Reorganized show is really not about doing more. It's about doing what matters and how you can use tech to enable you to do that. So let's go. Maybe you face the same problem like most of us. the hamster wheel of burnout. The life of a small business owner is tough. You're the CEO, the marketing manager, the sales manager, and of course the coffee maker all at once. And in the age of social media, you feel this constant pressure to create. If you're not posting on TikTok, on Instagram, and whatever, you may feel like, you're falling behind. It's an endless cycle and it's exhausting. It leads to that dreaded entrepreneurial burnout. To be honest, marketing should be on top of your priority, but it should not be done by yourself all the time as a business owner, right? So there is a reason for this exhaustion, and it's a concept from psychology called the Yerkes-Dodson law, as linked in the show notes. Now, don't worry, I won't get too academic about that. Just think of a bell curve. At the beginning of your business journey, a little bit of stress on the x-axis, a little bit of stress or arousal is a good thing. Then your performance goes up because you are motivated. So that's the top of the bell, right? But the Yerkes-Dodson law also tells you that, the more you add stress, your performance actually deteriorates and starts to decline. So you get overwhelmed and you make mistakes and you lose. Then you hit burnout. So you're doing more and more and more, but getting less and less and less out of that. And I know this feeling all too well. When I continued my career coaching workshops at graduate schools, on top of starting my professorship when my first child was 8 weeks old, I felt like running on empty. My brain was 1,000 tabs open at once. And this is what psychologists call the cognitive load. And it's a huge problem for business owners today. Cognitive load is the amount of mental effort that your working memory is using at any time. When you're constantly trying to remember what to post on Instagram, what to write in what email, and how to follow up with a lead, your brain becomes messy. And you have to run your business operations at the same time, right? So you are feeling like an overwhelmed filing cabinet. And when your working memory is full, you simply cannot think straight. You start making mistakes. And to be honest, at that phase of my life, I did not do any social media marketing for my business. That was mistake number one, but I didn't know better. I remember one day I was so tired from trying to do it all that I put my keys into the freezer. Well, that was more than just a funny mistake. I lost so many hours of my day for searching for my keys, And it was a signal from my brain that I was on a path to complete burnout. My business was unattended, and it was all because I had no structure, no strategy, and no system. And luckily, I had local grad school coordinators who asked me about new workshops year after year. Well, until the COVID pandemic hit us all, right? What happened then? Well, I still remember how my in-person coaching business completely crumbled during the early stages of the COVID pandemic. All my clients were gone. I was at home, busy parenting 2 kids under 5. It was a perfect storm of stress. And I was trying to teach my university students over video conferences, handle the chaos of my family life, and deal with the fear that my business was dying. I really had no structure, no system for attracting and nurturing new leads, and it was devastating. I felt like I was failing both my family and my business. And this moment of crisis forced me to completely reevaluate everything. I remember that I had been an IT strategy consultant at Accenture, and I thought, I know this is now the time to take my own medicine. I realized the only way forward was to build a system that is technically scalable, sustainable, and most importantly, it must give me my life back. So here's your actual prompt. Take a moment to reflect. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being complete chaos and 10 being effortless flow, where are you now with your business and family life? Write that number down. It's our baseline. Let's talk about the plan, which is your strategic blueprint. So This is where your video podcast becomes your secret weapon. Instead of random social media posts, a video podcast is a concentrated, powerful tool. It's your showroom, trust builder, and lead generator all in one. But we're not just doing a video podcast for the sake of it. We're going to do it strategically so that you can get off the burnout hamster wheel. And that really brings me to our next psychological model, the goal-setting theory by Locker and Latham. We link that in the show notes, of course. The theory says that people are most successful and motivated when they have a clear, specific, and challenging goal. So instead of saying, I want to grow my business, you say, I'm going to publish one 45-minute video podcast episode every week for the next 2 months to generate 10 qualified leads for my services. You see the difference? It's a clear, manageable goal that gives you a roadmap. You can make this even more effective by applying the SMART goal framework to your video podcasting strategy. So S for specific. You're not just creating content, you are creating an 8-episode series on a specific topic. You need a story arc. It needs to be measurable. You can track down the numbers of downloads, leads generated, and of course sales. It needs to be achievable. You are batching your work to make it a sustainable habit, not just a sprint to finish. It's a marathon. And it needs to be relevant. So your episodes are designed to answer the most pressing pain points of your clients. And it needs to be time-bound. So you have a clear start, like the first episode, 8 episodes later, 8 weeks later, you're done for that season, right? And to be honest, this is my game changer. As soon as possible, for every year, I write down my children's exam dates, our family vacations, our school breaks, and then I plan my professorship around that. Afterwards, I plan my video podcasting season. And then the times when I can dedicate working with my clients one-on-one. And I cherry pick those clients who need to be aligned to my values and already qualify from listening to my Creating Reorganized show. I'm not starting from scratch with my leads and clients, but instead, I'm qualifying them with my funnel so that at the end of the day, working with the clients is most fun for all of us, goal-directed, efficient, and effective. So the plan really is to create a seasonal video podcast for small business owners. And instead of hustling every single day, you can batch your content. You can pick a theme for a season. You record 4 or 5 episodes over a couple of days, and then you have a month or 2 of content ready to go, right? So this frees up your mind to focus on what you love to do, whether that's serving your clients, developing your products, or, like me, just picking up my kids and learning with them for school and letting them enjoy their hobbies. I live this. My own system is to plan a season ahead. I'll plan my winter content in autumn, my autumn content in summer, and so on. My podcasting season is always 8 episodes. I strategize a story arc for those 8 episodes with the potential of switching and updating topics as needed, but I have something planned before. Then I batch the scripting and recording so I can do the editing in quieter times ahead of the podcasting season. This is also how I can even plan for weeks and months when I want to focus on my children's scholastic demands, which really is key for me. I know, I'm a tiger mom. And for all our listeners today, let's make this concrete with a real-world example, all right? So I got a DM, a listener wrote, asked, how do I plan my video podcast to avoid burnout? I'm a real estate seller and I feel like I'm constantly scrambling for topics to attract both homeowners and buyers in my blog. I need to be more sustainable and I feel that a video podcast may help me. That is a perfect question. So for real estate sellers, a seasonal strategy is a secret weapon. Instead of creating random content, you can plan your episodes around the natural rhythm of the year. This not only makes content creation much easier, but also makes it more relevant and timely for both sides of your target audience, that is the homeowners and the buyers. Each quarter can have its own 8-episode story arc that leads your clients on a journey. For example, a winter podcast season could be all about the preparation and planning season. So this is really perfect for attracting homeowners who are getting their houses ready for spring listing, right? And the buyers want to sort out their finances before the market heats up. I'll put a chapter marker here and after the next segments because I will be more specific than usual. That was also another listener's request to be more applicable in my examples. So, to deliver to both of my listeners who took that time to DM me, thank you. Here's what an 8-episode story arc for a real estate seller could look like for the winter season. All of them have evergreen potential unless I say it differently. All right? Let's go. Episode number 1. That could be winter home preparation, the winter checklist, 7 secrets to make your home shiny before, the spring rush. This episode is not just about cleaning, it's about a deep emotional understanding of what a homeowner feels when they're thinking of selling. You are giving them a practical step-by-step guide that builds confidence and demonstrates your expertise. Episode number 2 could be financial foundations beyond the mortgage, how to find the ideal lending partner or bank for your dream home. This episode addresses a huge pain point for buyers, qualifying them and helping them with the biggest financial decisions so that when the time comes, they can make that call and make that deal. That is really a key part of how to qualify leads and convert them into paying customers. And this is a key part of the process of how to qualify leads and convert them into paying customers. Okay? It positions you as a trusted advisor, not just a salesperson. Episode number 3, that's the buyer's strategy. The quiet season advantage. Why winter is the smartest time to start your home search, as an investment. So this episode empowers buyers who often feel overwhelmed by the competitive spring market. It's about educating them and setting their expectations, which is a crucial part of building trust early in the sales funnel. Episode number 4 could be market predictions for 2026, our expert predictions on our local real estate market. This is a perfect episode that you can do for attracting both sellers and buyers. You are demonstrating thought leadership and providing valuable data-driven insights that nobody else is. This is how you can cut through the noise and stand out with a personal branding as the real estate seller and point of view. That has evergreen potential, but also is very easy to update for the next year and year and year. Episode number 5, it could be smart improvements. Do it yourself or hire out. Low-cost winter improvements that add thousands to your home's value. So this episode is pure gold for those who are cost sensitive, right? This episode is pure value addressing the cost sensitive nature of your clients. It's a topic that is highly searchable on platforms like Pinterest or TikTok and helps homeowners feel like they can take control of their home's value without breaking the bank. Episode 6, Tax and Legal Prep. Navigating the red tape, a simple guide to tax documents and legal prep for home sellers. So this topic is very boring maybe, but by making it a simple guide, you are solving a major fear for homeowners. So you're showing your expertise and reassuring them that you can handle the complexities so that they don't have to. Not so much evergreen potential, I have to say, as the laws may change and you need to update this one accordingly. And episode number 7, the seller's mindset. Are you ready to say goodbye? How to emotionally prepare to sell your family home. And this is, from a psychologist's point of view, a deep dive into the human side of real estate. It's an emotional episode that builds massive rapport and trust. You're showing empathy, which is a powerful tool in sales. This is a great example for storytelling, leading from behind the scenes to engage your leads. Episode number 8 is the pre-approval power. The golden ticket, why getting pre-approved in winter gives you a bidding edge. So this episode is a final strong call to action for buyers. It's a powerful conclusion to the season, providing a clear step that will qualify leads for you. Now, this is another chapter marker because that has been very detailed, but now you can see how each episode builds on the last, right? So it's not just a collection of random topics. It's a full story arc that demonstrates your expertise and builds trust. And I did that story arc for both of my video podcasts and also mentioned the previous episode. You boost your retention rates like I do, naturally, right? I enjoy 100% weekly retention rates because my listeners can anticipate and get the next episode as promised and don't want to miss the next one. Very easy, right? All right, so here's the best part. For the real estate seller, I've created all 4 seasonal content calendars for winter, spring, autumn, summer. And you can get this by DMing me, real estate seller, and podcast. It's my gift to you to help you start planning and stop scrambling. It's time to build a business that works for you, not the other way around. But in general, if you want to know more about how to get started with your video podcast, check out our very first episode, Why Founders of Our Small Business Need a Video Podcast to Build Trust and Boost Sales. It lays the foundation for all of this. Here's your actionable prompt. Take 15 minutes right now and brainstorm 2 potential quarterly themes for your business. Do not overthink it. Just write them down. If you want me to help you with a seasonal story arc, DM me your business details, and I'll be happy to do that. But now let's go back to the tech system, all right? So my system is set and forget. Now, this is really how we can make this happen without adding more to our plate. My answer is automation and a smart tech stack. My goal was to create a system that felt like a well-oiled machine so I could focus on the human side of business. And this is also a living example for my students and clients showing that, women can capitalize on tech and not be overwhelmed by it. It's all about creating an automated data flow, a system that works in the background so that you don't have to handle all the tedious things. You can do now what's your priority that should be serving your clients and living your life. This is where my tech stack comes in. Okay, I've chosen each of these tools because they are simple, powerful, and most importantly, they talk to each other to save me time, reduce errors, and operate as a living, breathing AI sandbox. Let me get specific here. Every tool of my tech stack has a purpose and works together to build my business while I'm doing other things. All right, let's talk about Podbean. Podbean is my distribution powerhouse and analytics machine. I use Podbean for hosting and distribution of my podcast episodes. It's my ultimate set and forget tool. I upload my video episode once, and Podbean automatically distributes that to every major podcasting platform, like Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart, Overcast, whatever it is. It's truly a time saver because I don't have to manually upload my episode to a dozen different places. Only when Spotify changed something on their end, I had to go back into my Podbean settings, and to be honest, I almost forgot how to do that because I set that up 2 years ago. But the real magic lies in their new statistics features. Okay, this goes beyond simple downloads for your latest episodes and top episodes. You can see listening trends and engagement rates of your listeners, compare a selected episode to average downloads of the last episodes, 7, 14, 30, and 60 days after release. I can see consumption rate, which episodes were played once, twice, or even replayed again. For example, if you have an education show like this one, reflecting the episode may be easier or even differently at the second time of listening. Podbean now allows me to track the average consumption time of each episode. Let me give you a specific example of how I use this. Okay, so when I started to also dovetail psychological theories, I had to adjust that. So I recently saw a significant drop-off in listenership at the 12-minute mark of one of my older episodes. I went back to the transcript, which is generated by Descript, by the way, but more about that in a moment, and realized that's exactly where I had a long, detailed explanation of a complex academic theory without a real-world example. I was, assuming too much. It was too dense. And using that Podbean statistical data, I now know how to break up those theoretical segments with a personal story or a quick aha moment for you. So this is how you can use data to improve your content and ensure that you are getting a true return on investment, because it's not about guessing. It's about knowing exactly what content resonates with your audience. And that's why I have chapter markers now, to balance more details for the real estate seller, for example, versus the more general information for all of you. So here's your actionable prompt. For the existing podcasters, log into your Podbean or podcast hosting platform's dashboard and identify 3 most listened to episodes, and a point where significant numbers of listeners have dropped off. For those without a podcast, download the Podbean app and explore a few podcasts in your niche. Maybe there is one, but how can you storytell a different angle? Okay, next up is my co-pilot, Descript. Descript is the AI-powered editing and content repurposing co-pilot. I love this. It's an all-in-one audio and video editor that transcribes your episode automatically. You can edit the audio by editing the text, a Word doc. I used to have to record and save all my host-read ads separately. And it was a real hassle to go back and update them for every episode. Actually, I didn't do that. I did this maybe after a couple of seasons. But now Descript's AI makes the rough edits in minutes, which saves me so much time. And now from this season 2 onwards, I will update and read my ads fresh for every single episode. So you know that this is not something stale or pre-recorded. This unique recording makes a huge difference in your listening experience and honestly, in my conversion rates for my ads, which is key for me and you because my ads revenues pay for some of my podcasting costs so that you can enjoy a Creating Reorganized show for free unless you become my client. So Descript is my ultimate sandbox for AI. Here's a step-by-step look at how I use it to get from a raw video to a full content distribution plan. Transcription and filler word removal. I record my raw video and audio, and Descript's AI immediately transcribes this. It also identifies all the ums and ahs and stuttered words with their AI feature Underlord. So I can edit for clarity. I can then remove all of these with a single click. It's like having a professional editor who cleans up your audio and video in seconds without ever touching a single audio wave. In very few exceptions, I would touch the single audio waves, which is also easy but really seldomly needed. And then for generating show notes or social media articles or posts, I use Descript's AI to generate a detailed, engaging caption from the cleaned up transcript. This saves me hours from writing and ensures the show notes are accurate and keyword rich, which is great for search engine optimization. Here's my favorite part. Once the show notes are done, I use Descript to identify the best, most impactful sound bites or video clips from the episode. And to be honest, I use a different tool for the video backdrops to make the branding truly unique to both of my video podcasts. But with a few clicks, I can then create short, dynamic, animated video clips perfect for Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts. I can even have AI-generated closed captions and relevant hashtags. This is how I can create 20 plus social media clips for every 45-minute episode in under 1 hour. It's truly a co-pilot that automates all the tedious, repetitive tasks that lead to burnout. This is why I mentioned in episode 9 that AI should be your co-pilot, not your replacement, as linked in the show notes. So here's your actionable prompt. Download the Descript free trial, as linked in the show notes. Use your smartphone to record a quick 1-minute video of yourself talking about your business. And then you can upload it to Descript to see the magic of the AI transcription in action. DM me if you need help so I can consult you. Let's go to your lead generation. This is where the magic happens and where you create a true sales funnel for your service or products, for your business. Your episode provides massive value, right? So you offer a free lead magnet, like a guide or a template. And the goal is to get listeners from the podcast directly into a system that qualifies and nurtures them without you lifting a finger. So my system, CreatingReorganized, uses 3 tools in perfect harmony. Thinkific. I use Thinkific to host my free and paid e-courses and memberships. Simple, professional, and helps me present my freebie as a high-value educational tool. They have a fantastic AI-powered tool that helps me draft my course outlines in minutes. TypeForm. You all know TypeForm probably from my own shows. Right? To get the free lead magnet, listeners click a link in the show notes and then they land on a conversational form created with TypeForm. I have also embedded that on my website. And what I love about TypeForm is that it feels so human and conversational. It's a great user experience that makes people feel seen and heard. Their new AI feature can provide real-time answers to common questions within the form itself, making it a smoother experience for your potential lead. My quiz, Check Your Readiness to Leap Out of Science, is a perfect example of this. I wrote the questions to feel like a one-on-one conversation.
Wait a second, I am Eleonore's AI editor underlord in Descript. Maybe even a better example for a quiz as a lead magnet built with TypeForm is this.
Do you want to start your own side business as a runway for your better future? Then you will benefit from our free business readiness quiz as linked in the show notes.
See, you can mention your free lead magnet organically or even after the recording during editing and refer to the link in the show notes. Now let's get back to our valuable Creating Reorganized episode number 10, video podcast for entrepreneurs. How to market your business 24/7, 365 without burnout.
So let me tell you a personal story that proves it works, right? So my best lead magnet is that quiz. It's still bringing me new leads on autopilot. The quiz asks 15 simple yes and no questions and gives a person an instant score. And here's the most delightful part. Often, right after someone submits their answers, I not only get the email, but instead, I also get an active LinkedIn connection request from exactly that person. So the system, Creating Reorganized, is doing its job to qualify the lead, but the human connection is what seals the deal. The tool TypeForm created the bridge, and the person walks across that to connect with me. That's the beauty of this system. It's human-centered AI and automation in real life, Creating Reorganized. And then I have ActiveCampaign. That data from TypeForm then automatically flows into my email marketing system, ActiveCampaign, and that is the centerpiece of my tech stack. ActiveCampaign's new features include advanced segmentation based on site and event tracking. So I know of the visitors who visited episode 1 and 2, they might have different concerns than episode whatever. And they have predictive sending that uses AI to figure out the best time to send your emails for a maximum engagement. And here's your actionable prompt. Identify one existing product or service or piece of knowledge that you have right now that you could package as a simple free lead magnet to offer on your podcast or on your website or via emails. Choose the delivery. If you want to test TypeForm for free, please use my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you use my affiliate link. And then I have Metrical. That is my social media commander. They call themselves the Swiss Army knife, and I can absolutely underline that. I use Metrical to schedule and manage all my content across Pinterest, Instagram, and TikTok. LinkedIn posts, yes, not so much the articles. For YouTube, it's a little bit different, and Pinterest has some caveats as well. But remember those video social clips that I made in Descript? Well, I upload them all into Metrical and schedule them to go out over the next couple of weeks. What I love about their social inbox feature is it centralizes all my DMs, comments, and messages from all my connected social media platforms into one place. So I'm not opening Instagram and TikTok just to upload. So no more switching apps and staying trapped on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, or YouTube. It's a true marketing automation tool for every small business owner. I was able to reduce my own time on social media drastically. Gone are the days when I was chasing trending audio and videos. Now I mainly use my own podcast jingles, audio and video from my shows. That's it. 100% on brand. And if I want to, I can still sprinkle in dedicated videos more native to TikTok, of course, but I don't have to stay consistent. See? There is no pressure on me anymore. I use Metrical strategically. For LinkedIn, I schedule my posts to go out during the business hours when my ideal client, the established business professional, is online. For Pinterest, I use evergreen visual content that links back to my videos and blog posts. And, Metrical's LinkedIn bio tool is a lifesaver for driving traffic from Instagram and TikTok. And the AI assistant can even help you write and optimize your social media captions. So here's your actionable prompt. Go to your social media bios and check if they are set up to drive traffic back to your business promotion video podcast. Do you have a clear and compelling call to action? Because the more you have like this web of referencing back, the more you will be searchable for AI. So now you might think, what's the ultimate result of the system? We've looked at the problem and the plan, and now we're talking about what's in it for you. Well, it's not just about more sales, though you will get those. It's about having a deeper, more sustainable sense of fulfillment because you are nurturing and qualifying your leads. It's about building a business that serves your life, not the other way around. And this is where another psychological concept, the self-determination theory by DC and Ryan, comes in, as linked in the show notes. So this theory says that we're most motivated and happy when we feel a sense of, number one, autonomy. You're in control of your own schedule and your marketing efforts. You're not a slave to the algorithm of the social media platforms that are constantly changing anyway. You are the master of your own destiny. Number two, you feel effective and capable because you have a clear plan and a system that works. This builds your confidence and makes the hard work feel purposeful. And number three, relatedness. You are building a genuine connection with your audience through your authentic voice. You're not just selling. You're building a community, a trusted space. So when these three needs are met, your business stops being a source of stress and starts becoming a source of joy. You're no longer working in your business. You are working on it from a place of freedom. And this is where your grit as an entrepreneur really shines, because you have created a sustainable way of working, allowing you to show up consistently without, and I know this from my own life, without this strategic and tactical system Creating Reorganized, I would not have been able to create 2 video podcasts. Creating Reorganized is my answer to all my business friends' questions who ask me, how am I able to work as a professor in part-time, be a present mom, picking up my kids and studying with them as they need to onboard primary school or, transition from primary to secondary school? I know that I have to do this. This is my legacy because I want my daughter to see how I can embrace technology and IT and even AI for my business rather than being afraid of it. I want to bond with my kids and have quality time as much as possible as my young children still need me. With my Creating Reorganized system, I don't have to spend a lot of time on my mobile anymore when my kids are around or during their school breaks because I can plan and work around that while I get leads 24/7, 365. And this is what Creating Reorganized means to me. The other day, my son wanted to teach me how to knot macrame. He learned that. I never did this. And before I had established Creating Reorganized as a system for myself, I would have probably been on my phone, frantically checking my DMs and trying to schedule a last-minute post and whatever. When he asked me, I was completely present. I put my phone away and focused on him. He taught me how to knot this keychain. So that moment, that feeling of pure presence and connection, that's the true return on invest for myself. That's the reason I do this. My business is working for me, not demanding my constant attention at the funnel. So the technology is my servant, not my master, and I can serve and qualify leads 24/7, 365, and will only attend to the most qualified and aligned clients because this way I am not wasting my precious time. Here's the actionable prompt. Close your eyes for a moment. Visualize what your life will look like 6 months away from today. If you have implemented Creating Reorganized in your system, how will your marketing look like? What will you do instead? And how does it feel for you? All right, so let's wrap this up. Remember the hamster wheel? It's not a place you have to live forever. The path to Creating Reorganized lies in a strategic effort, not just more effort. A video podcast is the perfect means for promoting your own business. And it's a smart tech stack that makes it all possible. If you are now wondering what you want to offer to your listeners, go back and listen to episode 6 about free content versus paid offers. And then you can also check out episode 7 about storytelling from behind the scenes to make your content even more engaging. Both are linked in the show notes, of course. And listen, if this still sounds like too much and you want this video podcast to build trust and generate leads, but you just don't have the time to do this or the energy, no knowledge to even set up the system, then I have something for you. We're getting ready to launch the Creating Reorganized podcasting service. It's a done-for-you, white label service for premium small business owners who want all the benefits of a professional, strategic video podcast with none of the work. You just simply show up and talk about your passion based on our preparations on video, and we handle everything else before and after recording your video. This is the ultimate solution to work-life balance for entrepreneurs, at least in your marketing. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, and I wish you a happy Creating Reorganized according to your vision of life.
Do you want to start your own side business as a runway for your better future? Then you will benefit from our free business readiness quiz as linked in the show notes. Are you a small business owner and want to create sustainable marketing and sales content? Try video podcasting about your service or product, like I do in my postdoc transformation show. I'm a mom of 2 kids in school and a professor, and I have no time to lose running my business. And if you also want to save time and energy, use our Dovetail Evergreen strategy. You can easily derive countless valuable social media content from just one video podcast episode. You can quickly attract a broad audience across many social media platforms and then nurture them into leads and clients in their ears and emails while you live according to your vision of life. Let me teach you Creating Reorganized. If you're ready to dive in and start your own podcasting journey, I highly recommend checking out the tools I mentioned earlier: Podbean, Descript, TypeForm, ActiveCampaign, Thinkific, and Metrical. Each of these services has made my podcasting business experience smoother and more efficient, and I trust that they can help you too. Thank you for listening to our Creating Reorganized show. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, share it with your business friends, and leave a review on your favorite podcast player. Your feedback helps me as a small business owner to serve more small business owners for free, so thank you.